Now I put out 2 other videos that explain how to get into the power position, how to swing to contact, and that's where we left off, at contact. Now let's see what happens from contact to follow through and what we should be doing. Okay, so I got into my power position, I laid the racket back. This is assuming that we're hitting the ball this way. Okay, so I have my left hand up, my head is looking at the ball, I have my racket back, and again I can have a bent arm or I can have more of a straight arm. Now, one thing to point out as well, the strings, I usually have my strings pointing down. Some players can have it like this, okay, like a Del Potro, but I prefer to actually have the strings pointed down. And once we're here, we make our swing, we swing to contact, which is going to be a little bit out in front of our body. All right, so once I've made my contact out in front of my body, there's a couple of things, there's a couple of different ways that we could follow through with the forehand. It really depends on whether we're driving the ball or we want more topspin. If I want to get a lot of topspin, I've got to make sure that my racket head is a little bit under the ball, and then I'm going to brush on the ball here, and I'm going to do what's called like a windshield wiper, where my racket is going to extend out here. Notice the position of the racket when you hit the ball here, and then it's going to come quickly across to the other side. So if I was hitting towards the camera, I'm going to swing to contact, and then I'm going to brush on the ball like here. Now, this is almost like a reverse mirror, the way I'm holding the grip, so you can see here. And it's almost like I'm holding a mirror and looking at myself here. And that's what I tell my students. I say, when you make contact and you bring that racket through, if you stop right here, it's almost like you're looking at yourself in a mirror. From this position, we're just going to bring the racket through to the other side. And you can see how quick that is. In a traditional forehand, you would make contact, and then the racket would have to travel across. In this position, we make contact, the racket brushes, it's right here. So from here to here, really quickly. And that'll give you a lot of topspin. I use that shot, especially if you're playing doubles and your opponent or any opponent is right at the net, and then maybe not right on top of the net, but if they're like 3, 4, 5 feet back, and you brush, you get a lot of topspin, the ball comes down to their feet. I play against a lot of people, and when I hit that shot, a lot of times they think the ball is going out and it actually lands in. They don't even go for it, and they're surprised when the ball goes in. And what I like about this shot is that you could actually hit the ball and hit it almost as hard as you want, and the ball is going to stay in. So if you have trouble with the ball going out, using this windshield wiper here, now the key on it is we're going to swing to contact. We make our contact, we do everything the same. It's only once we make contact, that's when the racket head, I think about it like the racket head here has to travel up like this. A lot of people, when they hit the ball, it's like very linear. The racket stays going across like this instead of going up. Okay, so I hope that wasn't too confusing to you. Try that out, hit the ball, use the windshield wiper, come across. If you want to do more drive, you don't want to put as much topspin on the ball, you could just make contact, and one thing you could do is you could start turning the face down. So instead of doing the windshield wiper like this, we hit the ball and we turn the face down like this. So instead of the racket being here, which is the windshield wiper, it's going to be more here. This is more for drive. And then we're going to come across. Okay, so if I'm hitting towards the camera, this would be a windshield. This would be hitting the ball for drive, where I'm just turning the racket here. So that's the difference. Okay, on drive, my racket is like this, in this position. And here would be for more topspin. Okay, when you hit topspin, you're going to lose a little bit of power. Okay, because hitting a flat shot, the ball is going to go a little bit faster. But you could actually do something in the middle where you're here as well. So you could play with that variation. But if you want to hit for drive, you're going to make contact, you're going to close it off, and then we're going to come through. Okay, that's the best way to hit for power and driving the ball. So when you see players that hit with more topspin, less topspin, a lot of that racket action that happens after contact is what's dictating what's happening with the ball. Now, it's safe to say that you really want to follow through. I see a lot of people that hit the ball, they stop their racket really abruptly, and they do that for a couple of reasons. The main reason they do that is because they're afraid the ball is going to go out if they swing fully through it. A lot of what happens after you hit the ball dictates what's going to happen with the ball, even though the ball is already gone. So if you're stopping your stroke short, you're never going to really achieve the full racket speed that you could if you just follow through. So I want you to follow through. Even if the ball is going out, I want you to keep following through, because that's the way to play tennis. And I tell that to my little 9-year-olds, and I tell it to the 70-year-old the same way. Hey, I really hope these videos help you. I hope this 3-part forehand series really helps improve your forehand, demystifies it, and makes you understand what the ATP Tour players are really doing out there. If you like this video, give me a like, a thumbs up, and please subscribe. I'd love to have you. I put more videos out. I put them out regularly, so stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one.